For today's video, I'm going to do something a little different, just have a little more fun with it. I'm going to be talking about my 10 favorite fashion releases from this past year, 2024. Mostly, I believe, all focusing on clothes. I might do a shoe one, but primarily just focusing on clothes. I spent 30 minutes to an hour just going through a lot of my Instagram saves and projects and just looking at a bunch of other stuff I'd saved and came up with my top 10. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to get straight into it. Alright, cool. So my top 10 releases of 2024. This is my first time using Notion. I started like a year ago and then never got into it. I've heard good things, so if you use Notion, please put me on. So my first one at number 10, and if you guys know like more than half of these, like kudos to you. I tried to do mostly like smaller brands, or I didn't really like focus on small or big brands. This is just the shit that I'm into. So at number 10, we have Hidden New York and Needles. This specific collab dropped earlier this year. It might be a bit of a cop out being like a bigger brand like Needles and Hidden, but specifically this cardigan, guys, like this thing goes absolutely crazy, and this jacket as well. I'm a massive fan of both. I don't know why it's showing like this. This shirt could honestly like not exist, but this jacket, this goes crazy. I'm in love with that. Hoodie's okay, and then the cardigan, like, I'm not a big cardigan wearer, but I'll probably rock this. This thing is crazy. Yeah, Hidden, if you're watching this, please send me a jacket. Even like this reworked Needles hoodie thing, super tough. Love this collab. I remember bookmarking this one. Funny thing is, I think almost everything but maybe one piece on this list I don't own, so yeah, I love clothes. I love a lot of stuff, but I also don't have a ton of money to just be spending on clothes. I really choose very smartly and wisely to spend money when I can do it appropriately and when it's something I really want. So yeah, first one, just kicking off with Hidden and Needles. I thought that was a cool collab. Going back, and I think that's the only collab I have. Everything else is just one piece. Next one I have at number 9 is Online Ceramics and this Pokemon t-shirt. Now, I am personally a massive Online Ceramics fan. I own, I think, just 3 or 4 different shirts. I have the Uncut Gems collaboration, my favorite movie of all time. I have the OPN collaboration, One O Tricks Point Never. Also the person, aka Daniel Lopitan, that did the score for Uncut Gems, funny enough. So I have a tee from that. And maybe one other A24 movie, or Online Ceramics movie. They do a ton of collabs with A24. But I am also a massive Pokemon fan, or at least, was growing up. And so this tee immediately hit home. I purchased this within like 10 minutes of it releasing. I got the white version. I'm pretty sure they both sold out pretty quickly. Just absolutely crazy. Also, I'm really curious to know if they got hit with a cease and desist on this or not. Even a brand like Online Ceramics is still a pretty decent size, and Nintendo, I do not think, does not play around. So yeah, super hard t-shirt. I think everything else would be outerwear mostly, but yeah, this might be the one piece in the entire thing that I actually own. So love the fit on their shirts. Slightly oversized. They have a bit of like a tighter neck. But yeah, super tough. Okay, cool. Going on to number 8, we have Mona Thomas and her brand Huni Worldwide, Huni Design, whatever, and this astronaut bomber. She's had another just crazy year. Scroll down, you've probably seen or know her from her hoodies. These go absolutely crazy. Also, she did this Adidas collab that didn't really come to fruition in like a commercial way. It was mostly just a lot of like friends and family pieces. That one was super tough. But this bomber that she dropped, I think in like February or January, so almost like a year ago. This one goes absolutely crazy. Love the colorways. This is probably my favorite one. This like gray colorway. She did this pants as well, which pants are a little much for me. Still, as a set, this is pretty dope. Would definitely rock this bomber in a heartbeat. I think they released for like 200 to 300 ish, which is pretty fair considering the amount of effort that goes into it. She does a ton of BTS as well, showcasing all of the design work as well as like the literal like creation of these and all of like the dyeing and all that stuff. So yeah, she's been going crazy. I'm in love with this astronaut bomber. Definitely like a new take on the bomber silhouette. And yeah, she deserves her flowers because she goes crazy. Okay, cool. Moving on to number 7, we have Basketcase Gallery and the Marionette Letterman jacket. Now, I'm not a big Letterman person. I'm actually not sure I ever wore a Letterman jacket like in my life. I mean, I could have gotten a Letterman jacket for soccer, but like didn't ever like wanted to have like a Letterman. and I've never really cared to also like buy one from a streetwear brand and rock one. But something about this jacket, man, like I know for a while like Off-White was killing it with their Lettermans, but this might be like the hardest jacket of like the Letterman jacket of all time that I've seen, and it's kind of like a weird like theme motif, like this whole like marionette and the clowns. I hate clowns. I'm not rocking with that. But something about like this, just this design, and then like the lettering, the way Basketcase Gallery does it. Blue is my favorite color. I don't know. For some reason, this shit just like hits different for me. You know, kind of like everyone has their own like piece or like things that they see. Essentially, these like my top 10 things that like I just saw that just like hit different for me. Everyone's got their own thing where they just see it and they're like, I gotta have that. That's me for Letterman jackets with this piece. Also, shout out this T-shirt that I was just scrolling through. Also super hard. Basketcase Gallery. Been on top for a while. Another solid year. So shout out to them. I'm gonna scroll down. They just did their Black Friday release and some other stuff. I only own their bootleg tees. Funny enough, I have the Pokemon bootleg, and I have what's the other bootleg I have? Oh, and then I have the Basketcase Land tee, which is like a Disney Grateful Dead bootleg. Yeah, I think those are the two tees I own. Don't own anything else, so put me on if you own some of their outerwear. A little on the pricier side, especially for what you're getting sometimes. I feel it's a little much, but you know, put me on it if it's something that you know is worth it for the how much it costs. But yeah, this Letterman was crazy. Big fan of this. And again, I could shout out like entire collections, but really wanted to keep it to specific pieces that I saw that just really spoke to me individually. So that's that. Okay, cool. Number 6, we have the Alieza Forest Green Polar Fleece. Now, Alieza is a smaller brand based out of the UK. Been following them for a while. It's two guys. It's like Jack something, and then I forget the other guy's name. But yeah, they do a ton of cool stuff. They're really big on just this whole idea of, I'm gonna butcher it. The dicot. No, actually, I don't even remember their whole slogan. But yeah, this is their logo. It's kind of like this person. Actually, I don't even entirely know what the logo stands for, to be honest. It has something to do with their the dialogic study of the autonomous individual. I just like more of like the vibe they do, and I really respect the branding they do, and just like their clothes are pretty cool, a lot more simplistic, which I've been trying to get back into less graphic heavy stuff, so that's probably why this speaks to me. But something about just like the simple logo, I'm a fan of their logo. I don't know, this fleece just looks like super well made. I like the construction on it. We have these to cinch it, and like, I don't know, it just looks super comfy. It might just look like a plain like polar fleece to most people, but for whatever reason, maybe just the photography, like this one just hits different for me. They also did a brown colorway. Big fan of both those colors. Super tough. Love this piece. Definitely a cool brand to shout out to. That they're only like 10 to 15K. So if you haven't checked them out before, please go check them out. Okay, cool. Number 5, we have NL25H, or aka Night Lab. Night Lab, yeah. So I don't own anything from them. This is definitely a brand I found out about this year. But they do a ton of cool stuff, kind of like in a similar aesthetic. A lot of it is just like outerwear, whether it's like a fleece or like a shell jacket or something along those lines. And they just do a lot of different cool like cuts, and they play with their colors extremely, extremely well. You can kind of see a more overview of everything that they do. So again, we have those like same fleeces, we have this jacket, this hoodie, and again, everything plays in like the different paneling and patterns and cuts, and then they, you know, do minimal branding, and just are really, really good with their colorways. Like, shout out them, they actually crush it with these colorways. All of these are pretty much hits. But yeah, this fleece, I don't know, it's simple. It kind of reminds me of the Systemic fleece, if you're familiar. So yeah, maybe a little reminiscent of that, but yeah, this one goes crazy. Love that blue and cream color. Honestly, all those colors go crazy. I mean, that's a pretty safe bet going with like a cream colorway and like throwing any other like soft color you have. But yeah, this fleece goes hard. If the owner's watching this, please send me one. Okay. Number 4? I think we're number 4. Number 4, okay. Cool. Number 4, we have the Badson Array Track Jacket. If you've been following, well, actually, I just started this YouTube channel, but if you've been following my TikTok for a while, you know I'm a massive, massive fan of Badson. I think they're the best. I think they're number 1 upcoming streetwear / fashion brand out right now that's upcoming. Still kind of unknown. You know what I mean? They're not like millions of followers, right? They're like, think $250,000, maybe around there. Yeah, 234. They've been going crazy for the last like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, something about this jacket. I don't know. It's just different. Everything they do is like, it feels original and unique, you know. And like I think they'd been for a while, kind of reiterating a lot of the same pieces they've been doing, like these overgrowth pants. They've done these like, or these are the cherry blossom overgrowth pants, yeah. They've done like this type of style like 4 times now. But this is the first piece in a while that felt like super different than anything else they had done in the last 4 or 5 years. And yeah, this gradient color again, like I'm a sucker for blue, and then they have this like the white and black contrast. I don't know, it just like this thing hits crazy. Unfortunately, I did not pull the trigger when this came out. Trying to make responsible financial decisions, but those don't always happen. But for now, maybe I'll cop it on Grailed or something, you know, down the road. So anyone selling this for like 100 or something, I think it came out for like 140, maybe like 200, 220 something. I don't know. If someone's got it listed for Grail like 100, it's gonna be mine soon. So yeah, this one's crazy. Definitely check Badson out if you have not before. Top brand. Top brand. Okay, the honorable mention before I get into my top three. It's got to be my own brand, Apologetic Letters. Just got to shout it out real quick. Had a really solid year of releases. I think the hardest thing we did this year was this Lucario vest, which was actually in collaboration with a local Indianapolis artist. He goes by Suede. You can check out his IG, suede.world. This thing, guys, is absolutely crazy. He went and did his thing. Also did this like night piece on the chessboard for my Magnus shirt. I released that this summer. But yeah, I think that was the craziest thing I did, as well as the Out of Time puffer. Still actually haven't released this yet, so this will be coming soon. We did more card holders. Card holders have been going crazy all year. By far my best selling product, and probably besides that, the melodic denims are also really well selling, and also just like probably the piece I'm most proud of, just because I spent 4 to 5 samples, which cost me like 12 to 1300 US dollars all in, when it's all said and done. Finally got those made and done, and they, if you don't know the backstory, I kind of took inspiration from the Baby Keem Melodic Blue album cover, so you can go check that out to hear more about that. I think I did a YouTube post about this, or YouTube video, or TikTok post, I think multiple times. So yeah, super hard. Got to shout out my own brand just because, you know, trying to do my thing, still feel like definitely underrated for now, not overrated. And yeah, excited to see what happens in this next year. All right, number 3, we have the, I don't even know what you call this, but this puffer hoodie by Adversity Board Crystals. This is actually from one of the owners, Remington, him and I think his wife, Heather. Adversity Board Crystals is one of my favorite brands. They have been since I first got into streetwear and clothes and fashion in general. And just something about this hoodie, guys, like that fabric they used, the overall like details. Honestly, I just love this thing. It looks crazy. It's different. It's like this like cotton candy. It's kind of weird. It's got the puffer element. It's like a hoodie, but it's also like an anorak with the middle piece and the pockets. Just something about this piece, guys, just hits different for me. Love this like lining too. I think these retailed for like $500, which is kind of steep, but also like on par with what they generally price their stuff at. And they sold out pretty quickly. I bought a bunch of stuff from them last year, mostly more like essentials type stuff, like some long sleeves, some t-shirts, I think some shorts and some pants. Unfortunately, I did have one of my pairs of shorts rip kind of easily, so there might be some QC issues there, but I would hope for something like this that's on par. And yeah, this hoodie puffer thing is like absolutely crazy to me. I love this thing. It's different, it's unique, it's definitely like a statement piece. I can't afford this for $500. It's already sold out, so that doesn't matter. But if you are watching this, Adversity Board Crystals owners, Remington or Heather, like, please. Yeah, this thing's crazy, guys. This is my number 3, pretty easily. But getting into my top 2, like I said earlier, you most likely are familiar with these two. I think they both got a fair amount of media coverage from different outlets, and just still want to give them the flowers they deserve for these two, because they both had awesome years and absolutely crushed it with these two respective pieces. So at number 2, we have the 424, however you say it, Real Madrid inspired leather jacket. I think this thing is absolutely crazy. I love this whole idea of just combining like a design element or like a garment and then applying it with like a different type of medium. So like one thing that I talked about a couple of videos back was talking about like some design trends I'm seeing. And funny enough, with like football slash soccer jerseys, was that we were seeing a lot more like jerseys come up in knit form. That's something that's been popularized this past year and a half by a couple of different brands, from like House of Errors to 42 Company. I know ALD did their own. But yeah, you're taking something existing like a soccer jersey, which has primarily been made in a jersey mesh form, and then transforming it using a different material, like knit, like a jacquard knit, or however they want to do it. I've even seen mohair, and combining those to make something new. This is kind of the same principle, except for it's even more extravagant, exaggerated. We have a leather jacket with a jersey printed on it. That's pretty much the first of its kind as far as I know. Super badass look. I love this. It has the Champions League on the side. It has, of course, Madrid, Adidas, the Siemens Mobile. I think this is like when Zidane was playing. This thing is super sick. Of course, it's like a nice leather jacket. 424 has been, obviously has always done like really nice higher end pieces. And yeah, with like, I like the homage to the specific Real Madrid player and piece. Obviously, Beckham, very iconic. And overall, just the execution of this is, second to none. Really love this idea. Be very curious to see if A, we see a more commercial release of this, because I don't think there was one, and B, to see what other brands do to kind of not like mimic, but kind of build on this type of idea. Obviously, this was earlier this year, April 10th, so around April. This came out. I don't think we really saw anything else like it throughout the rest of the year, but I'd be curious to see if we see anything new moving forward. And number one, if you followed my TikTok for a while, I'm a massive fan of this piece specifically, because I've talked about it multiple times. It was actually a collaboration piece. I'll actually show you I settled for a hat instead of the actual thing I wanted. Yeah, this would be a hint. Umbro. I love this hat because it's got the collaboration name Penalty Culture, paying reference from soccer slash football. And we have the Umbro logo, and we have this Velcro strap, which I care less for. But overall, love this hat. This is what I settled for. But the actual piece that I wanted, but it sold out super quickly, is the Slam Jam X Umbro men's mast hood plaid overshirt in brown slash beige. Pretty much just a super sick anorak hoodie. This thing goes absolutely crazy for a variety of reasons. Number one, Umbro has been on a crazy rebrand this past year. You've probably seen their other collabs like Palace and whatnot. I know they've also gotten a lot of media coverage from outlets like Outlander and other such. But yeah, this is by far my favorite piece that's released the entire year. It's kind of a it slash statement piece, but also like could very easily be worn on a daily basis, in my opinion. Yeah, this thing sold out incredibly fast. I don't think a lot of people were able to get it when it came out. I know like right on the release day when it sold out, people were trying to resell them for like 1,000 plus. And I think there were some buyers. So yeah, clearly the hype on this one was unreal. I think part of it is due to just the collaboration between Umbro, who's on this crazy rebrand, and Slam Jam. Also like this plaid, like almost like Burberry-esque fabric slash design. I love that. I'm a big fan of that color and the style. Something about too is like the balaclava slash like shiesty attachment to like the traditional like hoodie slash anorak. There's just a lot of elements that come together and look super nice. You have the Umbro embroidery hit right above like the cheek area. And yeah, I think it's just like super sick. I would love to see this one in person. Obviously this thing sold out super quickly. I sold it for this hat. I like this hat, but not as good as the anorak. So yeah, this is my favorite piece of the year. Like I said, I only actually owned, I think, just the Online Ceramics t-shirt from this entire collab. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for today, guys. Just thought it'd be fun to go over my top 10 pieces from this year. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on A, any of these pieces I just talked about, and also B, what's your favorite, 1, 2, or 3, pieces that released this year, or collaborations, or, if there's some brands that just put out some really good work that I haven't mentioned on my channel yet. Would love to hear more about that. I'm always trying to learn more and see what we can, learn from these other brands in terms of a marketing point, a design standpoint. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had today. Didn't have enough time to do any type of educational content and prepare for that, so that would be fun to just talk about some of my favorite things I've seen this year. I think it was a pretty good year for fashion and in general, like streetwear and kind of stuff I'm into. But yeah, would love if you guys could just leave a comment, just give me feedback on these videos. Again, if you're a returning person, returning viewer, I will be back to doing more like educational type content starting tomorrow. Again, when I'm posting daily. If this is your first time watching anything from my channel, I primarily try to focus on smaller brand marketing and some design stuff, and just mostly fashion, but I'm going to start talking about some other things as well. But yeah, thought this would be a fun video to do. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had for today. Again, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys.